right now on 5 on your side at 10.
We're rounding out our weather impact alert tonight after rain flooded roads and seeped into lots of homes across the bi-state. Thanks for being here at 10. I'm Robert Townsend. We're expecting most of the rain to get out of our area by tomorrow. Then we might finally get a break. Let's get right over to meteorologist Gary Frank with a look at our weather impact forecast.
Yeah, good evening. It feels like it's been raining forever, but at least it's not raining quite as hard now. As we look outside, you'll see where that steady diet of rain, even at this hour, continues. Can you believe there's spots in our area that still are raining as heavily as it was yesterday? And that's where they have seen over 12 to 13 inches of rain. Unfortunately, we're not involved in that. We're still on the northern edge of a few light showers. You're starting to see that continuously in Festus, New Athens, Nashville, where some of these spots over the last 36 hours have seen well over 6-7 inches of rain. Even in Potosi into Farmington, I know you don't need any more rain, but we have some lighter rain. This is not significant, but I know it's not what you want to see. It even goes as far north as Vandalia into Greenville as well. As far as our flooding concerns, you'll see most of our area has been wiped away from that, except for Perry in Jefferson County. So I want to point that out here as we look at our flood threat has come to a close for the most part. So that's why we're kind of putting a bow on it. But when you look at our 48-hour rainfall totals at just the major reporting sites, airports, things of that nature, you're talking close to 5 inches of rain in the last 2 days. Pretty significant, right? And our weather impact alert it just finishes up tonight. As we look at those light showers around, the flooding risk is finally ending. There will be a few showers on Sunday, and that's what we'll talk about here as we show you when the rain finally exits fully, how much we've received locally, and what we can expect into next week.
Gary, thanks a lot. Tonight, we're learning more about the volunteer firefighter who was killed while heading to a water rescue in Franklin County yesterday. He was only 16 years old. 5 on your side's Andy Kroll was there, hearing how slowing down on the roads can help protect those who try to keep us safe.
At around 4:15 p.m. Friday, Beaufort-Leslie Fire Protection District firefighter Chevy Gall was hurt in a two-car crash while responding to a water rescue. Locals tell us the water levels have gone down significantly in Beaufort since Friday, but Director of Franklin County's Emergency Management Agency, Abe Cook, highlighted the incident happened during heavy rain.
It's a dangerous situation out there whenever we have more people, more responders responding.
The all-volunteer fire department saying Gall had critical injuries at the scene. Based on a crash report with the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Gall was driving on Highway 50 east of Missouri 185. The report said the 16-year-old's car crossed the center lane and struck the front of a cargo van. He was then transported to Mercy Washington Hospital and pronounced dead. It's
never easy, but we have a community surrounding the Beaufort-Leslie Fire District as well as their families, so we're here for them and wishing them our thoughts and prayers.
Some of that fire family was out less than 24 hours after the crash with flags at half staff. Beaufort-Leslie Fire Chief saying in a statement, it is, quote, a fire chief's worst nightmare. We are heartbroken by the loss of one of our own. As the black bunting goes up on Saturday on this fire department, first responders and emergency crews tell me it's the symbol of grief you never want to see.
All loss of life is devastating, and this one hits really close to home when it's somebody out helping others. And so it's important for the community to surround the district, surround the family. A cousin of Gall's telling 5 on your side the teen was an incredible young man that would do anything to help another out. He was so loved and loved many. He always wanted to be a firefighter, as it runs in the family for many generations. He will be missed dearly. Andy Kroll, 5 on your side.
Now, in the latest update from the fire department, a 30-year-old man in a separate car was taken to a nearby hospital. His condition is unknown. The Chief Mason Griffith Foundation, a nonprofit for supporting first responders, has started a donation fund for Gall's family. If you'd like to help, you can find a link in the As Seen on TV section on KSDK. Parts of southern Illinois was hit hard by flooding. The town of Salem issued a state of emergency because of it. Emergency management even issued a curfew that lasted until 7 this morning. Multiple roads were closed as floodwaters swallowed up cars. Rescue crews responding to multiple stranded cars throughout the night. Kaskaskia College had to close down campus for the rest of the semester due to the flash flooding damage there. And right now, help is available for those impacted. An American Red Cross shelter is open in Salem for flood victims. They're setting up shop at the Salem First Baptist Church. That's off Main Street. It's open 24/7 for anyone needing any kind of help Enter through the double doors on the east side of the building. You can also look for that Red Cross shelter that will be right there. Early this morning, St. Louis County residents were able to get much needed sandbags for their homes and properties. The St. Louis County Department of Highways and Transportation held a distribution event at their Florissant location. Residents were able to haul home free sandbags as flash flooding threats loomed over the area.
It's been one flood after another. It's been very hectic. We're just going to deal with it the best we can.
My backyard flooded. I got rain coming from my neighbor's yard into my yard.
Just want to be ready, just in case.
The St. Louis Department of Highways and Transportation will have 2 more sandbag distribution sites opening Monday. One will be on Ruck Road in Ellisville. The other will be on Coors Lane. You will need to bring your own shovel, plus load and transport your own sand. Many first responders conducted water rescues due to the recent flooding. Rolla's water rescue team successfully saved a man and his dog in Bell, Missouri last night. Now both needed to be saved after the man's tractor was swept off a bridge by rushing water. Luckily, no one was hurt. And Maryland Heights rescue crews had to save one driver whose truck was partially submerged in water. This was off I-270. Officials tell us the driver was safely taken out of the truck and no one was hurt. Floodwaters have claimed one life, however, an O'Fallon man driving in West Plains, Missouri. The Missouri State Highway Patrol captured this video of buildings in the area engulfed by floodwaters. Rushing waters took over roads and businesses. Look at this video. Highway Patrol says the driver was washed off the road near Missouri Avenue and into Howell Creek. His body was found by the West Plains Fire Department. Investigators pronounced him dead shortly after. For the latest coverage from our weather impact forecast, go to the 5+ streaming app. You can download it now on your Roku, Fire, or Apple TV. St. Louis protesters taking part in a nationwide movement while they're saying hands off to the Trump administration. And many tonight are stepping up to save kids' lives. How local nonprofit Ella's Umbrella is turning heartbreak into hope. Despite the rain, hundreds of people in our area took to the streets today to protest the Trump administration. It's part of a national hands-off movement. We got photos and videos of these protests coming in from Brentwood, Baldwin, and Arnold. Many participants say they're unhappy with the Trump administration's recent actions impacting the global economy and human rights. Others tell us they want to see Elon Musk out of the government. He's blamed for cutting thousands of federal workers' jobs through the Department of Government Efficiency. We spoke to one protest organizer who says she hopes to make a difference.
Right now, I am trying to connect people who feel scared about what's happening in this country, who feel powerless, and I am trying to give them a voice, because when we come together, we're more powerful. And so helping people build those connections, educating them about what they can do for change, that's as much as I can do.
The protests that were part of the nationwide hands-off movement broke out in nearly every state, plus major cities like Boston, D.C., and Chicago. Today, multiple organizations came together today to support first-time St. Louis home buyers. The collaborators include SoFi, Beyond Housing, and local NBA champ and Chaminade grad Jason Tatum through his namesake foundation. Today's workshop is part of a $1 million commitment to helping people buy their first homes. But organizers say they wanted to provide more than just financial assistance.
Home buying can be intimidating, it can be overwhelming, and it's sometimes it's confusing too. So we didn't want to just hand out a check. We wanted to make sure that they had all the resources and the tools, and they could get questions answered and have someone there to actually walk them through the process.
Local nonprofit Beyond Housing provides help for people year-round with needs ranging from housing to health care and employment. Tonight, the St. Louis community also came together for a special trivia night. Its goal, support a local nonprofit that's trying to save little lives in a big way. It's called Ella's Umbrella. That organization was named after a little girl who was born with a congenital heart defect. She passed away shortly after her first birthday. Now her parents are raising money to develop new technologies that could save kids going through the same thing. And today, that was through a trivia night at the Post building downtown.
There was this moment that made us feel so powerless. And now with support from these amazing people that have come to our trivia night and businesses around the area. That moment that made us feel so powerless has now been a tremendous source of empowerment for us, and we're doing amazing things in honor of our daughter. It's a cool way to keep her legacy alive.
What a touching event. Tonight's fundraiser was a big local collaboration with local restaurants and bars, donating snacks and lots of drinks. More than 70 different silent auction items from local businesses you can see filled the tables. And 5 on Your Side Scott Connell was there to MC this event. If you would like to donate to Ella's Umbrella, you can find a link in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
Overall, things are winding down in terms of rainfall. It's still raining very heavily. These spots have seen well in excess of 10 inches of rain. We're still on the northern edge of some light rain. We'll talk about when it finally shuts off completely and our local amounts as we check in a couple of minutes.
Strong storms trigger severe flooding all across the country, and in the past week, 16 people have been killed across multiple states due to the storms, including Missouri. Some states are still under weather alerts through tomorrow. Michael Yoshida spoke with our neighbors to the south in Arkansas with the latest on the terrible flooding there.
A series of strong storms triggering historic flooding across the central U.S. This in Hardy, Arkansas, a small town in the northern part of the state just below the Missouri state line, where water from the Spring River has swarmed the area.
We're just getting a lot of water right now. This affects a lot of people. This has changed a lot of people's lives.
Many homes surrounded by water. In some structures, all you can see are the roofs. The Spring River, which flows through Hardy, Arkansas, is supposed to be between the trees on those banks and these trees. As you can see, though, the water's flooding out over the banks, taking over this entire park. You can see debris throughout, buildings with water right up to the roofs. The water also overtaking nearby train tracks, a historic flooding event for this town. The rushing water has made it tricky for emergency crews to rescue people stranded.
We got to the point where it was too dangerous to put a boat in the river.
Further south in Lake City, Arkansas, a tornado causing catastrophic damage, cars mangled in trees, and many homes destroyed.
So it was like we couldn't do anything. We had to leave it behind, and we're just like, we're trying, and today hopefully we can get, if not all of it done, the actual things that we need. You know, hopefully it's salvageable.
More extreme weather is on the way. Millions of people from northern Texas up to Pennsylvania could see excessive rainfall and severe storms through Sunday. In Hardy, Arkansas, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Yeah, you have to really feel for those people. Gary is back now with a look at our weather impact forecast. Hey, Gary.
Yeah, we had a lot of rain. Fortunately, for the most part, it was not the catastrophic rain that they have. Still, a lot of spots that got over 8 inches of rain, and really the rest of Sunday. Expect that some rivers still may rise, and prepare for that higher water, not to drive in and things like that. Otherwise, we're not going to get much more rain that really adds to that. It's just a matter of collectively getting all that into the tributaries here before the rivers crest. We look back on Friday night, and you saw that steady stream from the southwest to the northeast. There's that line of severe weather that went to the south and points at Arkansas. Then we got a break here, and then guess what? It picks right back up, and you see that loop. Fortunately, we had that break. Without the break, notice where you are in Paducah, things like that. That's where this catastrophic flooding has been. We've been on the backside of that, and that's kind of what started us off by mid-morning again. But eventually, we kind of settled down. Now, when it comes to our rainfall totals, really over the last 36 hours, you can see that in the city of St. Louis, you got some significant amounts, and there are a lot of spots over 3, 4, 5 inches. But look at spots like Mount Vernon, Nashville, and Sparta. I'll zoom into a couple of spots locally right along the 270 loop, and you're talking about Fenton to Pear, right around upwards of about 5 inches, where, in the city itself, you still got upwards of 4 or 5 inches, something like that. But when we get into other spots right now, you were talking about some spots upwards of 8, 9 inches when you're talking about spots like Sparta, Nashville, even as I flash back here and look at some of these spots, you're talking about 7, 8, 9 inches in Mount Vernon over the last couple of days. We want to stay dry. When we check in, if they're wet, you're wet. Bring them inside, right? We got Lieutenant Dan. This is from the Cal Suite headquarters. This is from Jill. She's one of our 5 on the side weather watchers. Hey, he's ready to come inside. I did like this one from Larry tonight. Look at how nice the sunset is. That proof that the sun exists, right? It's hard to believe that we had that sun, but it's there now. And we're going to bundle up here as we head into the next couple of mornings. Temps still in the mid-40s, 30s behind it. That cold air will eventually settle in. We'll really start to feel it, especially as our clouds exit. You'll see maybe a few more showers here over the coming days, but there will not be much more. Let's time this out. I think the showers linger into the evening at times, but once it clears out, it's going to be a big difference for us. Temps in the upper 40s, like I said, a few showers around. We have a northeast breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. But our flood stages in some of these spots, like I mentioned, they're into the 20s and 30s as opposed to the mid 30s. From Eureka, you're almost at 21 feet. Valley Park at 17 feet. So there is some major flooding. Those are the road closures that we've continued to keep you posted about. But I'm optimistic that over the next few days, we're going to see things much drier. Look at the projected rainfall. Even in those spots that got 10, 12, 15 inches of rain, not much going on here. It will be quiet. Believe it or not, Monday morning, we've got a freeze watch. Now, there are a handful of counties involved in that as we start to work our way into the growing season. Keep in mind, in the St. Louis area, the earliest last frost was March 22nd. On average, in terms of the freeze, it is about April 8th. So we're still around that, but I do expect that our temperatures will drop into the 30s. Watch them fall into the overnight hours and then eventually warming back up. The next few days, I'm optimistic, are dry and warmer, but there are a couple of cold mornings. Monday morning, maybe Tuesday morning, even colder, and then we're going to see a rounding out back into the 60s and 70s by next weekend.
Chilly but dry. Looking forward to it. Hey, Gary, thanks. Corey, what's happening in sports?
A lot happening in sports. The Blues had a date with history tonight at Enterprise Center. Things got chippy for City SC out in Kansas, and the Battlehawks are ready to fly tomorrow at the Dome. Big Time Sportscast on deck after the break. The St. Louis Blues have been playing hockey for nearly 60 years. In that time, no team has ever won 12 games in a row. This current red-hot club had the chance to write their names in the history books tonight against the Avalanche, and they were not going to let their chance pass them by. There's a look at the standings coming into this one. Blues all alone in that first wild card spot, and they were shot out of a cannon tonight. Zach Bolduc, how hot has he been? 1-0, 49 seconds in. Still in the first period, Jake Neighbors, great feed from Robert Thomas. Neighbors buries it, ends up in the net, 2-0 Blues. Start of the second, Jimmy Snuggerud, strong on the puck, young fella. He gets it to Pavel Buchnevich. It's 3-0. The Blues are buzzing, so is Enterprise Center. Power play now, second period. Bolduc again, his second of the game, 18th of the season. Enterprise Center absolutely rocking, including Kelly Chase, who the crowd gives a great standing ovation. Keep fighting, Chaser. The Avalanche are a great team and would come back, but Jordan Binnington stood strong. 35 saves tonight, including that beauty. Man, he was good. 4-3 Blues, 30 seconds left. Empty net. Robert Thomas sends it in for a goal and his fourth point of the night. And that was a big goal because Colorado got another late one, but the Blues hang on. They win 5-4 to set the franchise record with their 12th straight victory.
To be able to overcome all of the adversity we've had this year, whether that was self-inflicted by us, doesn't matter. We've overcome it, and just playing the right way, and I'm proud of that group for what they've achieved.
It's been everyone, and I think in good seasons, and you need everyone, and everyone's going to have their moment, and that's the fun of it, of being part of a team, and that's where we're at right now.
I mean, all the teams playing well, so it's fun to be part of it, and we just got to keep it going.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC has never won on the road in Kansas. Sporting KC hadn't won a game yet this season. Barring a tie, of course, something was going to give tonight. It did, and City was on the rough side of things. The City supporters always invade the opposing park in Kansas. Tonight was no different. Sporting in their first game after moving on from longtime head coach Peter Vermees. 71st minute, Dejan Jovelejic. Sorry about that pronunciation. He beats Ben Lunt, though. 1-0 KC. 88th minute. City has to get a goal, but it's Jovelic again. Man, this time off the post back in 2-0. That's how it ended. KC gets their first win and then goes over to let the City fans who made the trip know about it. Bit of a dust-up, but in the end, it's Sporting who had the last laugh with a 2-0 victory. City has not scored in their past 3 matches. No baseball today in Boston. The Cardinals and Red Sox were rained out at Fenway Park. There is a doubleheader set for tomorrow with games at 12:35 and 6:10 St. Louis time, and that second game will still be featured for ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. It's almost lights, camera, and action for the Battlehawks at the new and improved Dome. They'll open things up tomorrow at home against San Antonio. Manny Wilkins will get another start at quarterback, and receiver Hakeem Butler is sidelined with a hamstring injury. But Coach says it's all about his players filling their roles.
We loaded up this team with a lot of playmakers. We got 2 great backs, we got a great offensive line, and we got a lot of depth at receiver. Okay, Hakeem isn't playing, but we got a lot of other receivers that can pick up the slack, and that's a good thing. Manny understands his role. I think everybody understands their role. We have a great staff. Phil McGegan's our new OC. He's done a phenomenal job. We have a lot of answers for them when they go out on the field. So it's up to us to put them in those positions to have success, and they ultimately have to perform.
Quick Final Four update. Walter Clayton Jr. scored 34 points to lead Florida over Auburn 79-73. And right now, Duke has a lead over Houston late in the game. Looks like it could be Gators and Blue Devils for the national championship. How about those Blues, though? 12 in a row. I would not want to be a team in the playoffs facing them right now. They're dangerous.
Dangerous and cool. I mean, the fans are loving every minute of it.
It's electric over there.
Corey, thanks. Gary's got a final look at our weather.
Yeah, I think overall tomorrow, showers will linger throughout the day. That's why it's not going to warm up very much, so it'll be below average, but it's really not going to amount to anything. So in terms of significant problems, it's just kind of holding you down from really clearing up all the stuff from your yard and just all the soaking mess. But we will dry out the rest of the week as we even see the potential for a frost and freeze for Monday and Tuesday morning in some cases. Otherwise, we're going to continue our warm up and dry out.
Looking forward to that. And that's 5 on your side at 10. But your local news and weather are always available on 5+. Saturday Night Live is coming your way next. Have a great night, everyone.